Hello again and welcome. This is Modern American Gangster, and this is another news and current events update. It is the 28th of August, and the summer is about over. Monday is Labor Day, and that is the unofficial end of summer. So, boy, that went by super, super quick. And everything's just about the same as it was back in November and back before that and back before that. Not a lot of optimism going forward in this new world order that we are slowly moving into. Now, Trump and Putin met in Alaska, and the QAnon people were all, boy, they couldn't help themselves by being so right about trusting the plan. Look at the timestamps. Look at the QAnon codes. Look, QAnon said this 12 years ago. They were going to get together at 11:11 timestamp marker. And, just because the QAnon said X, Y, and Z 9 years ago or wherever the fuck it was, how does that help us at all? That could be the deep state communicating. It has nothing to do with us, the people. They never, their timestamps are for their agendas. So even if the QAnon people are using Project Looking Glass to determine future events before they happen, it doesn't matter if the events they're trying to steer towards are the birth of the New World Order. And if you want to get the full New World Order, you have to first extinguish hope. So let's have this big campaign to tell everyone the arrests are coming and they're going to lock up all the pedophiles and the elites and the monarchies and all this stuff. When nothing ever happens, you destroy the spirit of the people by keeping this charade going for 12 years or 10 years or however long this has been going on, like 9 years. But it's just the same old, again and again and again. And no one ever gets arrested. And they'll tell you law and order takes time. We've got to do it the right way through the military and blah, 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 blah. It's the same thing. If it's a failed, bankrupt corporation, why are you still adhering to the laws? Arbitrary laws created by a false corporate entity imposed on to the people, and you got to still follow the rules of this bankrupt corporate entity in order to defeat it, even though it's bankrupt and no longer viable. So it's all just a fucking smoke and mirrors bullshit. Because if it was the Republic, every single law created after 1871 would be void, and you wouldn't have to adhere to any of these arbitrary laws. So the QAnon people, it's just a fucking bullshit thing if you understand all this stuff. And they'll tell you it's a bankrupt corporation. And then you'll say, why are they following the laws written by this foreign bankrupt entity, a corrupt foreign occupied government, foreign controlled by the illegitimate dry dock vessel of Washington, D.C. Why are we listening to or following any of their directions? And that's where the QAnon people kind of run out of answers. They don't know. They have no idea what is really going on. And a lot of them don't really understand concepts of everything has been fake, the history is fake, the historical record is fake, all this stuff is fake. Excuse me. And it just goes in a circle. And no one ever, no one really cares. It just seems like they want to be right more than they want this to end. And there's still no Doge checks, no arrest, not one arrest has been made. And these fucking Q people will tell you John Bolton was house was searched. Do you think he really is going to keep any evidence in his house? And if he does, it's a fucking stupid psyop. It's a stupid fake thing to get everyone to look over here and not at Israel bombing hospitals. And they accidentally bombed several hospitals and are killing all these kids. And it was an accident. Okay. Oops. Sorry, we murdered more women and children. But this is the same thing that the governments around the world have been doing for centuries. You know, it's Israel and their government today. It was America and their Jewish Zionist government in 1850. It's the same people. They don't give a shit how many kids and women they have to slaughter to get their agendas through, whether it's the native population of anywhere they go, native population of Palestine, native population of America, now the native populations of England, France, Spain, Ireland, Scotland, all the once Tartarian united countries, now completely destroyed by immigration and all this other stuff that they're a part of. And the people don't seem to understand. It's not, Woodrow Wilson and all these people. It's the same corporate entity running everything, and it has been since its inception with government. Now, does this all tie into the black goo substance? Most likely, that's what's going on. Demonic entities possessing people, getting their agendas through, and then when you can put all the blame onto a one person, whether that's an Epstein, whether that's a Bill Gates or a Dr. Fauci or a Joe Biden or Adolf Hitler, they will put all the blame onto one person, and then the 5, 6, 8,000 people behind the agenda, behind the administration or the cabinet or the whatever it is, they all get away. And they'll all get fancy jobs at Pfizer or BlackRock or wherever they go after they put their work in. And the people are kind of waking up to this, but not really. And, the government has now come out and 100% said these aliens are already among us, extraterrestrial aliens, entities, multidimensional visitors, whatever the bullshit terminology is. They're already here walking among us. And they have cloned bodies that they inhabit like an avatar. So it's like everything we tell people. I've been telling people this for like 15 years. And everyone will say, you're crazy. That's insane. There's no such thing as human cloning. That's a psyop. It's not real. It's not real. It's not real. And then yeah, it is real. Okay, it was real, but there was no way you could have known that. And it's just like, oh my God, I'm getting so tired of the same shit over and over and over again. And it just, what's the point of wasting our fucking time telling people this? It goes nowhere. And I don't think we have a big enough following or audience to really affect change at all. So it doesn't matter if you've got 100 people, 200 people, 300 people. It just, the people you do have, they don't have any friends. They don't know anybody. All of us, if you're awake and aware of this matrix system, you're isolated. 100% you're isolated. And the general public NPC people are the ones who don't seem to ever get it. Programming never kicks in. I was watching the movie The Island yesterday. And it's like, God, it's right there. They show you everything right out in the open. And this is one of the big things they don't want to talk about Epstein Island and the client list because there is no client list. The client list, if you've seen like the Epstein movie, the clients are these celebrities. Now you want to think it's just pedophilia on this island and blackmail. It's more than that when you look into the human cloning aspect of all of these operations. Now there is said to be a massive celebrity cloning facility underneath the island. Just like in the movie The Island, and the guy who made it, Michael Bay, was a big time Epstein associate. So as these people are, they'll never release this client list because they'll once you start understanding that the people who did go to this island, frequent this island, are most likely the celebs who have purchased duplicates, or maybe they bought a spouse or a child, like the Obamas. That's supposedly where they went to buy their children was Epstein Island. You can see the picture. So, I don't know. I keep thinking, like, what the fuck is the point of doing all this? It is fun. I do like to make these videos. It gives me something kind of else to do, but I don't know, man. The shadow banning is getting so crazy. They've basically just deleted anyone. If you questioned Israel or the vaccines, if your account gets flagged, it goes into a special folder and no one will interact with you or see your posts. I'm on Twitter. I got a blue check mark and I get zero interactions on any of my posts. The only kind of the only time I get really big reactions is when you comment on someone else's post. And then your post will get a lot of interactions. But just posting stuff, nothing. It doesn't go anywhere. My Instagram, I'll post stuff. It doesn't go anywhere. I'll post clips on Rumble, Modern American Gangster clips, and nothing ever seems to go anywhere. And it's just like that's their game is silence you to the point where it's just a waste of your time to continuously try and operate within the boundaries of this matrix system. And how are you ever going to get over this? This is the whole Nisara QAnon bullshit where there's going to be a Q phones and the QAnon internet, free internet, wireless, and they're going to get rid of the shadow banning, and it's actually going to be based on freedom of speech and blah 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 blah. I don't think so. They're going to give all of this fancy new technology to the people who have nothing to say in the first place. So there's no possible way your average NPC football, baseball, basketball watcher will ever say anything controversial because they just don't think. They're a programmed person. Just like in the movie The Island. Now, the point of the island is, and I'm talking with people about this, and it's like, do the clones have feelings? Do the NPC people have feelings? And I would think base level, yes, but I don't think these people would ever even begin to question reality. And that's the kind of whole point of the Island movie is the Lincoln Six Echo Ewan McGregor character starts asking questions. And he's like the conspiracy theorist of the island. And then he goes into the next sector and is talking with the Steve Buscemi character and drinking whiskey and asking more questions, where then, he figures out that the island is fake and they escape and, that's the rest of the movie plays out. But it's really an interesting metaphor for our reality. It's the only way you're going to get out of this matrix is by asking questions. And the people who are involved never ask any questions. They're told to get a vaccine, they get one. They're told to watch the game and they watch it. They're told that they should care about Taylor Swift and they do. And it doesn't matter what's going on in your own life because the lives of these celebrities are so much better than your life. And the scripted reality is so much more comforting when you know that, Taylor Swift has been through a lot. And I think he's finally found true love with this arranged Illuminati marriage. That's going to be great. And who's going to sing at the Super Bowl? Taylor Swift. And her man is the Chiefs or the whoever the fuck team the guy plays for. They're going to be in the playoff. Of course, you're married to Taylor Swift now. Your team's going to the playoffs for sure. It's all scripted. You know, the confidence he has now that he's with Taylor. They're going to win for sure. And his teammates all really listen to Taylor Swift's music in the locker room. And it's just a fucking kumbaya experience whenever Taylor Swift is involved. She motivates the team to really activate the magnets in the gloves. And they can catch all those balls more and more. It's some fucking bullshit. And it's just like, I do think people are seeing it, but it seems like they see it and then they kind of forget that they saw it or something. I don't know. It's really, really dystopian how void the consciousness is of these people. Now, they're bumping up the timeline for the hostile aliens that were going to be here at the end of 2026, and now they appear to be coming in October and November. Now, they keep priming people for this alien shit, but people don't really care because they've played this alien card way too many times. It's always lights in the sky. It's never a physical craft hovering over like in District 9 or Independence Day or something. So until they fucking land and get out, it's never ever gonna happen. They're playing this, they're playing this, they're playing this. I think they're running out of time, big time, with their Project Bluebeam and all this stuff. I think if they don't get this very soon, it's just going to be worse. The same thing with the moon landing. They had to fake that moon landing when they still had black and white TV, because when the you get to high definition TV, like you're going to see too many ropes and cables, and you're going to see too many flaws. That's going to be the main thing about this Project Bluebeam. And, it's Trump and China, and Xi Jinping and Putin, and all these people are going to be in on the aliens. Every government of the world is going to be monitoring the aliens. And it just seems like they keep telling you this. No one really seems to care in any other country. So how are you going to have a worldwide deception when most of these people in other countries don't care? Their lives already suck where they don't care. What, the aliens are going to come and make our fucking lives worse? You know they're never going to make anything better. They're not going to give you free power. You're still going to have to pay to live here and work your life till you die just to barely have enough to survive. And the aliens, what the fuck are they gonna do? You watch the aliens are gonna come and they're not gonna say anything anti-Semitic. But all people are united. And this is how they get their one world order, their one race, their one religion, all connected to the aliens and these little gray demons. Who do you think they're gonna want to talk to when the ship lands and the alien ambassador comes out? Well, he's going to talk to Klaus Schwab and King Charles and Elizabeth Warren. It's just going to be the biggest fucking bullshit psyop. They'll never acknowledge anything. And I guarantee you, when these aliens land, they come from some star system so far up. It's a complete fraud and a deception. And I think there's so many people kind of awake to the idea of flat Earth and all this stuff, it's not going to work. It's just like they just had another school shooter, which was a complete fucking bullshit false flag. The same kind of witchcraft writing fucking gay trans messages on the magazines. This guy hated Jews, and 6 million Jews wasn't enough. So what does he do? He goes and shoots up a Christian school. Huh? I thought you didn't like Jews. Now, oh well, he doesn't like any people because it's just everything is stupid and fake and gay, and there's nothing we can do about it. Turn off your TVs and quit. But then, like, what are you gonna do? I have such bad ADD. I can't sit and read a book. Okay, I have to like watch a TV show, a movie, and then I can read a book if I have the TV and the movie going at the same time. So it's like I can concentrate on the TV and the movie, and then I can read a book, and it can kind of quiet my mind down to the point where I can focus on reading. And it's just stressful. So I'm not going to do that. And what else? I'm trying to think. I don't have my notes with me, but that's okay. There's been no more arrests. There's no money coming. They keep telling people there's going to be a dividend, and which, if you get the game, they're going to release these stimuluses way close to Christmas so that you can, stimulate the economy during Christmas time. And that's a little, the Trump people. We're going to give you $600 to help your family out at Christmas. Meanwhile, they're giving all these immigrants and black people and all this stuff thousands of dollars in EBT, which they just sell. They're giving all these people free housing, free health care, free phones, and it's just now Trump's going to allow 600,000 Chinese student visas to be allowed in the U.S. Because if they don't, the college school system will crumble if you eliminate 600,000 student visas from China, just China. Who knows how many other student visas they have? So ask this question. If there's 600,000 student visas in our America, how much housing is that? 600,000 rental properties or dorm rooms or wherever these people are staying. So that's 600,000 houses or dwellings or whatever you want to call it that you're not giving to homeless people. So how much extra everything did these 600,000 people consume? And this is why it costs $250,000 to go to school for, 4 years or some $65,000 a semester. It's insane. And it's like this is the whole new world order. If you're a white American Christian person, you're done. You have no voice. No one is speaking for you. If you're one of these other people, they are the ones who get all the aid. And Trump is doing not one fucking thing for white America. And it sounds bad, because they programmed you to make it sound bad. But if you're a Latino American, an Asian American, an African American, there are limitless programs for you to be a first time home buyer and be a college graduate and have all these opportunities when you're just a regular white person from a middle class, background, there's nothing for you. And it is very obvious this is the game plan. They fucking hate you more than any other people on the planet. The Zionist occupied government fucking hates white people of, ethno-Christian background because of this Tartaria stuff. That's where all of this comes from and stems from is this. Now, I'm still working on my new documentary. I'm going to probably have to release it in two parts because it's just too big. Right now, I'm about half done, and it's about 3 hours long. So it's all up on Patreon. If you subscribe to my Patreon at Patreon/ Modern American Gangster. It's all on there. It's really, really good. I really went the extra mile to polish it off and get it all right. So I still got another 5 or 6 parts to record. It's probably going to be impossible to release as one version, although I could do, put the base documentary together and then add all of the extra parts as like a bonus or like an extended version or something. I don't know what I'm going to do, but if you want to start watching it, it's on Patreon. It's really good. There's so much. I have found hundreds of pictures of old world buildings and mud flood stuff. It's just when you really compile all the evidence together, there's not a lot you can do to discount it or to say, no, they're so lazy in there. Oh, that was from the Civil War. Oh, that was because of this. Oh, that's because of theology or whatever it is. It's super lazy. And these people who give you the answers, the cookie cutter pre-written answers, they don't have any idea of what's going on. They've never heard of these concepts of the world and Tartaria and all this kind of stuff, which it's 100% proven. When you start to put the evidence together, the only thing we kind of don't know is the year, but the more you look into this, the past, pre-1850s, it was like a fucking Star Wars technology kind of world where everything was like super, super advanced. And when you're getting unlimited power from the atmosphere, the amount of power in lightning bolts, hundreds of thousands of volts, running all of your stuff, and then that goes away overnight, it's just like an EMP went off, and all of their old technology gone. And they had to then re-engineer all of these things and get it back working again. So you can see, like, as World War One is going, they have reimagined all of the technology and got it working on Steam or whatever they did. And then that was like the early prototypes, where now you're going to World War II, advanced prototypes are in play, tanks and things like that, where now in 2045, you're going to have the same kind of technology they had in 1845. Robots, giant mechanical fighting battle suits, and all this kind of super tech. That's what they're coming out with, or that's what they have. They haven't really released it yet, but they do have that. They have Terminator robots. They have Elon Musk's robots and all this stuff. When you figure out the same kind of robots they had with computer circuits now, they had with mechanical versions in 1870 or something. It's really interesting. And it's just the more people look into the giant trees, the giant people, the buildings, the architecture, how deep do the buildings go? How deep do the sewer systems go? How does all this hook together into one theory? Well, we've figured out what really happened. The documentary is coming. It is coming slow because the summer is ending and I'm super busy trying to get my winter prep done. And it's just, God, there's so much going on. So I'm working on it. I think I'm probably going to end up doing it in two versions. And it's on Patreon. You could go check it out on Patreon. I don't know what I'm going to do about releasing it to YouTube and BitChute and not BitChute. BitChute's kind of dead, but Rumble is what I'm talking about. So, none of my accounts it's just in the last 6 months, everything has just been turned off. I get no new followers. I get no comments. I get very little likes and thumbs up and stuff like that. It's just they really have turned off the spigot. Where if you want this information, you've got to seek it out. And you've got to watch the videos and you've got to share it and you've got to become an active member in this great awakening. You can't just sit on the sidelines and sit back and, you know, agree with what we're saying. You need to take this to the next level and you start creating videos and waking people up that, it's a lot of work and I don't think the people want to put the time in. They don't really care. So it's very sad. There's not much we can do except sit back and wait for something to happen. Wait for this alien invasion to take place. Wait for the biometric data security. And I mean, all this super, super dystopian stuff is taking place. Biometric surveillance and monitoring of the troublesome thinkers to make sure they don't become a thought leader in the community. And, you know, the boomers are still just I mean, the half of the boomers are into Israel and whatever bullshit they're into, and the other half are into fucking QAnon and 107 and all these fucking grifters who never tell you anything. They've been telling you to trust this plan and that things are going to be ready and the arrests are coming, and the National Guard has moved into D.C. to clean it up. And they're setting the stage for arrests to take place. And all these people will tell you that it's getting ready to happen and they're going to arrest the politicians and all this stuff. And then you watch in about a week or two, the National Guard will pull out of DC. And all their fucking theories of their prepping the stage for the arrest goes out the window. And they're going to go to Chicago and clean up. And now they're going to go to San Francisco and all the Democrat cities and clean them up. And the underground bunkers and bases have been cleaned up. And all of the illegal aliens are refugees from the underground bunkers and they're arresting them. And a lot of them don't have souls and they're void consciousness that's been possessed by entities and it just goes in a fucking circle. They always have an excuse why nothing is happening, why our debt is fucking higher than ever. There is no way out. They're going to give you a $600 stimulus check. That will basically cover the interest payments on my credit card are like $300 a month in fucking interest. Now take on top of that the interest payment on your house payment and your car payment and your student loan payment. So $600, they're going to give you 1 month of interest-free debt. Thank you a fucking ton. It is so almost disrespectful and fucking evil. These people are going to give you 600 fucking dollars, but do nothing about the overall debt people are in. And the tariffs are working. We're making so much money with these tariffs. They're going to use this money to pay down the national debt. What about the national debt of the fucking citizens who didn't sign up for any one of your foreign fucking Jewish wars that have put us in this debt since fucking Civil War? Since before then, every fucking war is for this greater sneaky agenda of these Jews behind the scenes, pulling the strings of the politicians and making sure we get our Federal Reserve banking system and they'll just print more money. And they say that China's dumping their treasury bonds and Japan's dumping their treasury bonds, and that's going to cause hyperinflation. And the inflation's going to get even worse, but they're making more money. Well, you're making more money, but the money isn't fucking worth anything. So, at what point is this reset going to take place? And Trump and all these fucking retards are just in it. I can't even listen to these fuckers talk about their level one bullshit NPC world they live in. And how fucking stupid every fucking thing is in our realm. And there's like, God, the people just are in such denial. What are you gonna do about it, dude? I mean, it's just like we're here and they're way the fuck down here in understanding and consciousness and stuff. So I don't know. It's really, really bad. There doesn't seem to be anything going on. The one thing I started doing is my video game videos, footage, commentary and stuff. And then in November, they're getting rid of this free game that I've been playing forever. It's like the only fucking thing I do is play my game for 2 games a day or something. But now that's going away. And they want you to buy a new upgrade your system to the new PS5 or whatever. They're 550 fucking dollars for a PlayStation 5. Huh? That's so much fucking a high-tech gaming PC. You could get one for like 400, and it's way better. It's just everything is a fucking scam, and it just needs to fall apart. When are the aliens gonna fucking wipe the system out and clean it all out? It just really should make people think that there is a hostile race of aliens, the lizard people or whatever. They're running the show. They fucking hate us because we are unique and we have a soul and we can think and they cannot. They have programs and computers and AI that do their thinking for them, giving them some dark, evil plan that they give to their foolish minions in the government to carry out. Very disgusting and horrible. The state we're in as people in this system. And the only options you have are to basically be a homeless person or to work 2 and 3 jobs so you can barely afford a roof over your head. Disgusting. There's no way out. And Trump's not helping us. I get the across the planet, I get all that. I know all about it. But at some point, you have to acknowledge that, dude, what if you're getting lied to? What if Trump is a shape-shifting lizard person trying to fucking trick you into giving away your sovereignty? And, we're going to give you $1 million in biometric data coupons that you can live off of and, join the Matrix. You'll have a lot of fun in the Matrix or something. They really want you people, general people, to agree with this and to enter their matrix and give them full control. Where then they're going to kill you. That's what the biometric data is cataloging your DNA to use it for the next COVID pandemic or whatever. And the real pandemic is going to kill off basically everyone who didn't get the first vaccine. And the vaccines, if you're already getting them, they will protect you. You have to keep getting them every 3 to 6 months because it's like a computer program. You have to update the software in order to protect you from the virus. And this is why the people who do have the vaccines have to keep getting them forever and ever and ever. And it doesn't matter how many young people in their 30s are dying in record numbers. It doesn't matter how many heart attacks and cancer and all the stuff these people are getting. You just, if you kind of have an ear to the NPC crowd, they're all getting major health problems. They're all dying. They're all getting heart attacks, and they just don't know what it is. They have no idea what it is. And they've got psoriasis, and they've got new allergies, and they've got new diseases, and Bliss is going to help them get rid of their whatever. The fucking commercials for all of these fucking prescriptions and pills may cause side effects of rectal bleeding and internal bleeding, and it causes your gums to bleed, and it causes suicidal thoughts, and it causes diarrhea, and it causes all this stuff. You know, it causes 10 side effects, and I guarantee you're going to get one of them. And then you're going to have to take another prescription to deal with those side effects. And then that side effect causes you. And before you know it, you're on 5 or 6 pills. But don't worry, your company's insurance will pay for your medication. So don't quit that job or you're going to lose your insurance. And then you won't have, the insurance to cover your Epglis or your fucking Prozac or your Xanax or your fat people injections. Ozempic. You won't be able to afford your Ozempic anymore. And it's just, the people just never seem to catch on because this has been going on since the 70s. And they just blindly go, yeah, whatever, no problem. Okay. What else? Final thoughts. Um, I got a birthday coming up on September 4th. And I did receive a birthday package from Mr. Sockavello himself, and I told him I would open it on camera. So let's see what Mr. Sockavello has got us. Okay, what's it going to be? It's a small box, but good things come in small packages. And let's see here. Okay, it looks like a t-shirt. Shake it out. Oh, that's great. That is great. Look at that. I'll have a picture of that. Mr. Sockavello on Mount Rushmore. That is a fantastic shirt. Wow. That's my new favorite shirt. I'm going to put this on right now. I don't know. Can you see that? Very cool, Mr. Sockavello. Thank you for the delightful shirt. I will be wearing this on my birthday celebration. So that's pretty cool. Mr. Sockavello does remember birthdays, and that is pretty cool. So that's about it. There was something else I wanted to fucking talk about. I can't remember. It doesn't really matter. So that's about it for this week. I want everyone to know, join my Patreon if you want to see the new documentary. There's lots of good stuff on there. There are calls with Mr. Sockavello. I'm going to call him and thank him for this delightful birthday gift. And maybe that'll be on Patreon later today. So, guys, that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed. I wanted to just touch bases a little bit and figure out what's going on. And just like 6 months ago, nothing's going on. The New World Order is progressing further and further, and there's not a lot we could do about it other than resist the New World Order. So, until next week, I will see you guys later.